In Baltimore, Maryland, businessman George Usher is going to his office. Someone is watching him through the storm drain. George enters his office. Someone climbs up through the elevator shaft. George leaves a message for his wife that he is going to be late today. Someone enters the room through the air vent, kills George, and then leaves through the air vent. FBI agent Tom Colton is having lunch with his colleague Dana Scully. He wants her help on a spooky case. 3 murders began about 6 weeks ago. No connection between the victims. There is no entry point for the murderer. All 3 victims were behind locked doors, and nothing showed up on security footage. Each victim had their liver ripped out. No cutting tools were used. He wants to get the help of her partner, Fox Mulder. Later, Mulder and Scully meet up with Colton at the crime scene. Mulder notices iron strings fallen from the air vent. He notices an elongated fingerprint on the vent. Mulder tells Scully the murders are similar in nature to the 10 previous murders, 5 committed in the 1930s and 5 committed in the 1960s. There was 5 more murders involving an extracted liver in the 1900s, but fingerprint technology didn't exist back then. That makes 5 murders every 30 years, which means there are 2 more to go this year. Mulder wants to take over the case, but Scully disagrees. Mulder tells her that Colton will do his investigation while they do their own. Scully agrees to that and creates a profile for the killer. She believes the killer to be a male, 25 to 30 years of age, with above-average intelligence. The extraction of liver could be due to its regenerative qualities. It cleanses the blood. The taking of this trophy could be an act of cleansing himself of his own impurities. Since there is no connection between the victims, they cannot predict the next one. But a killer may not always succeed in finding a victim, in which case he will return to the site of his previous murder to recapture the emotional high. Scully and Mulder wait in the parking garage of the office building. Mulder tells her that the killer is not coming back here. His thrill was derived from the challenge on an impossible entry. He's already beaten this place. Mulder leaves for his home. On his way back, he notices someone moving through the air vent. He calls for Scully and tells her to get back up. Scully arrives and tells the man to get out of the air vent. More FBI agents arrive and arrest the man. He is given a polygraph test at the FBI headquarters. His name is Eugene Victor Toombs, an employee of Baltimore Municipal Animal Control. He says he never removed a human liver, never killed a human, was never in George Usher's office, and is not 100 years old. The test revealed that he was not lying. He didn't commit those murders. They contact the maintenance at the office building and confirm a call regarding a dead cat in the air vent to the animal control. Colton says that Eugene is not the killer, but Mulder disagrees. Mulder shows them that he lied when asked if he was 100 years old, but the FBI let Eugene go. Scully tells Mulder that he must have more evidence, not just a polygraph test to believe that Eugene is the killer. He shows her that if they elongate Eugene's fingerprints, they match with the print they found on the air vent. At night, Toombs is waiting outside someone's house to claim his next victim. When the owner arrives home, he starts climbing the wall. He is able to squeeze through the very tight chimney on the roof. Eugene grabs the man and kills him. Next morning, FBI agents are at the scene. Mulder and Scully arrives, but Colton doesn't want them here. Scully tells him that they have authorized access to the crime scene. Mulder notices a fingerprint on the fireplace. He tells Scully that the print belongs to Eugene. Later, Scully tells Mulder that Eugene's apartment was a cover. No one ever lived there. Eugene also hasn't shown up to work ever since he got arrested. Mulder and Scully go through the census, birth and death certificates, and marriage certificate to find anything on Eugene. They don't find anything on Eugene, but they found the current address of the investigating officer of the murders of 1930s. They visit retired detective Frank Briggs. Frank shows them all the evidence that he has gathered, which includes a piece of the removed liver. But it was not the only trophy he took. He also took small personal effects. He shows them a photograph of Eugene that he took in 1933. They visit the apartment where Eugene used to live. They find a hidden hole in a wall inside the apartment. The hole leads them to an old coal cellar, which has personal items that Eugene has collected over the years. They find a large nest made of rags, newspapers, and bile. Scully believes that no one can live in the nest. Mulder theorizes that Eugene doesn't live here. He hibernates here. A genetic mutation has allowed him to awaken every 30 years, and the 5 livers provide him sustenance for that period. Eugene might be a genetic mutant. Scully leaves to get a surveillance team. Mulder stays behind to keep looking. Unknown to them, Eugene was hiding here all along and steals a necklace Scully was wearing. Mulder has 2 agents outside Eugene's apartment keeping watch and tells them that he'll be back in 8 hours. Back at the office, Colton gets angry at Scully. He tells her that he had his men called out from the stakeout. Both of them has been taken off the case. Scully leaves and goes home. Eugene has been waiting for her. Mulder arrives back at Eugene's apartment. He finds Scully's necklace at the apartment. Scully is preparing her bath. She notices a liquid dripping from her air vent. She runs and grabs her gun. Mulder tries to call her, but Eugene has cut off the phone wires. Eugene grabs Scully's foot, but she manages to escape his hold. Mulder arrives at her place. Mulder enters the house just as Eugene was preparing to extract her liver. Eugene tries to escape through the window, but they both manage to handcuff him. Next day, Frank reads in the newspaper that the killer has been caught. Eugene is building another nest in his cell. A man puts food in Eugene's room through a slot in the door. The episode ends with Eugene smiling with a grin as he looks at the slot in the door. Please like and subscribe the channel for more videos like these.